Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here. Today, I have a 5 points preview for Ovation, which is currently on Kickstarter as I record this. It is for 1 to 5 players, in which you are playing a famous classical figure. You have your very familiar composers like Beethoven and Mozart and Haydn, and maybe something you haven't heard of like Mariano Martinez or Joseph Boulogne. There are all real composers in here. The historical flavor is baked in pretty well. You will gather your resources for getting started, your fortune and your patrons, eventually crafting music and coming up with your big magnum opus. So let's run through 5 points so that you can figure out if this is worth your backing dollar. Point number 1, the most eye-catching aspect of this project is going to be the theme. You have your classical composers here on the player boards, and here are the chamber music and concert music decks, and you have all sorts of historical flavor. This one was truly crafted as a labor of love for those who want to enjoy classical music. I especially enjoyed these magnum opus cards. These are kind of optional scoring cards that each character has, and they have different symphonies that are noted by each composer. Man, the theme is just layered in here. There's a lot to discover. Next point up is the card drafting. So these 4 decks comprise a large majority of the components of the game, so it's a pretty tight package. So you have your fortune cards and your patron cards, which provide you with bonuses, some scoring conditions. Those are going to lead up to your chamber music, which, woodwind trio, string trio, etc., culminating in your big concert pieces, opera, mass, piano concerto, etc. This looks a little bit overwhelming, especially for a less experienced gamer. However, the grammar of the cards is pretty easy to figure out. You got your costs down here, your benefits up here, and most importantly, they obviously build up. You get these, you can build up to your chamber music, you can build up to your concert music. The theme and the mechanism really comes together in this card drafting package. My number 3 is the set of Maestro cards. These are the goals of the game. They're clear, they're obvious, they're there for the entire duration of the game. Once a number of them are claimed and 2 are left, that's the end of the game. What I like about this, as a games teacher, someone who teaches light to medium Euros in community settings where people may not be as experienced gamers, I find that these are super clear, clearer than, for example, Wingspan, where the goals change from season to season. Here, you just have your goals. You tell people, okay, go for 2 masses, go for piano music pieces. They're right on the board. People can dive in and just get going. Point up is the action system and the combo chaining. So the action system is actually pretty simple. So you can go over here with your little cute pawn and gather your resources. These will go up a little bit, and then we are going to spend by going to these other areas. These are the buff sections, and here is where you get your scoring cards. This is what the board will look like at the beginning of the game. And this is what a player board looks like towards the end of the game. You have your scoring conditions, whether it's your patrons or your performed music. You also will have acquired cards that buff your basic actions. And here is where the meat of the game comes in. These are bonuses. So if I were to seek patronage, I would take these musical notes that I've earned throughout making performances, and I would use the action. Use the action. Use the action. Hey, check that out. That gives me a bonus perform action. I'll go over here. Use the action. Use the action. So make sure your game group has a good selection of gateway games under their belt before approaching this next step. My final point for the lovely One Stop Co-op Shop fans, how does this one play solo? So I got a chance to play an early version of the solo. I gave some notes. I feel it still could use some development. However, having played these types of games, I'm very sure that there is a good solo mode in here somewhere. Core points of interaction are easy. The bot would race you to different cards, discarding them before you're able to gather the resources and pay for them. Or taking some of these Maestro cards, you want to be able to make sure the bot, see the buildup of the bot, see which ones they're going for, and adjust your strat from there. There's also a positive interaction in the multiplayer through these tickets. When players finish performances, they are able to give a ticket to the person that is making a performance and score some extra points that way. Oh, look at that. You got some symbols. You know what symbols mean. Symbols means points. As the bot performs, you're able to jump in there and get your tickets in and scoring as well. And so that is my 5-point preview for Ovation. Go ahead and check the show notes, visit the page, see if this one is worth your backing dollar. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop, reminding you that we'll see you at the next stop.